So, is it a fair commission to split in real estate? Oh my god! I swear to God, this fuck. Where's that? Let me go see if I can find that. Oh, they really are removing everything, aren't they? So, Windmere has accusations of it being a fraud, right? Fuck if I care. I think they fixed their image since then. I'm pretty sure it's ran by the star constellations. I don't fucking know. They just run a lot of shifty businesses, right? Right. It's just they got better, right? And there's a lot of context missing. Like a lot of these people that got scammed are into the Windmere cult. They're getting money back from them too. That's why a lot of these articles miss context, right? So they're forming separate cults that aren't related to Windmere. But part of the implication is they buy real estate. So they're getting money back elsewhere. So that's where the pyramid scheme is. Yeah, this is the pyramid scheme is Windmere offers some other service, right, for free. In return, you buy a real estate product. All of them are like that, by the way. So they play this game, and that's why YouTube is a product of these kind of companies. The reality is no one wants to tell the truth, and they all lied so much that they bought into their own lies, right? Because that's human. That's completely normal. More normal than you can imagine. Right? So a lot of these legal court battles are just fought to gain more power. That's all it fucking is. It's the name game, right? What about the rape thing? Yeah, it happens. She wanted to move up. What the fuck ever. It's hard to move up in real estate. That's why there's a lawsuit. I don't know what else to say. You work in these shifty as fuck business. What do you really want? I probably am not qualified to survive in these kind of environments. But I don't see how I can move up in a company like Amazon, right? They just promote people who go to the education system. Right? So you have to do dangerous stuff like this, which actually produce value for the company. I am not denying that there's a lot of bullshitting around, right? I'm not denying people bring pistols, right, to the office corporate board meeting right here at Windmere. I don't deny how dirty it is. My point is these type of businesses create an API like this. It's necessary. Because door-to-door sales just isn't enough to get those stocks running. So you have to divest your strategy. So if they can't get you to buy real estate directly, right, maybe they can give you something else. You could sell a separate product, and eventually, right, you can give some partial payments, not to real estate directly, but to just the idea of real estate, right? And they sell something else. I'm serious. This is what happens, right? Like the implication was that the advertisers would buy real estate later on in the future. So in the meanwhile, because they like the vids, they'll pay you some other payment for this, right? So you see where it is? So so there's a pre-cash flow, right? Which is the fact that you're doing door-to-door sales for the product, right? And in return, right, for selling the product, they give you a little pay, and then later on, they're persuaded, quote unquote, to later buy real estate, if that makes sense. Right? It's like you do unrelated, so they've created a pyramid, not really a pyramid scheme, but a persuasion scheme, basically. Where it's like, I persuade you to buy my product by showing you a cool YouTube video. And then in addition, right, because you're disgusted by showing the ads disgustingly, I send you a copyright letter like a couple thousand times using some sort of web scraper, right? Or whatever the fuck it is. Some sort of bot. I send you a beautiful copyright written letter to like the first 50 to 100 clients to buy this product. And if you buy this product, I'll keep making YouTube videos. It was a non-monetary transaction, quote unquote, right? In exchange for me doing YouTube videos, I advertise for you, and then, with the advertising, in combination with other advertising gizmos, the exchange is you buy a house from me. Well, I can't afford the house right now, but I really like your videos. That's an example of this. Right? So in return, I buy a different product, right? How about I give you some money? Right? We can talk about buying a house later, right? So that's how the scam works. Not really a scam. It's a smart idea. So YouTube's ran by a lot of these real estate firms in the beginning, right? And the programmers are in on it, right? Because they can't move up through Silicon Valley. So companies like Primerica and Ascension, they run this shit, right? The corporation might not be aware of it, right? It's only certain key figures, right? Because there's a lot of these people, they just make a fuck ton of cash. Right? So a lot of these pyramid schemes are not straightforward. They're really not. None of this shit's straightforward. So when people like Illuminati cover it, they're only covering the surface, right? They don't understand the scheme in its entirety. So a lot of these shifty companies like Allstate, right? They create an API. They all come together. They get a bunch of programmers and they create an API like YouTube. They do. Now, they're not all coordinated, but they all realize one day, hey, we need to figure out how to make these door-to-door sales margins work. That's what happened back in Oath 2, right? Or whatever the fuck it is when YouTube first started. That's why the design was so good. The shorting was done on purpose because that's what the pyramid scheme is. It's called YouTube. The joke is it wasn't a pyramid scheme in the beginning. It was actually legitimate. So what people like Illuminati miss out on is that it actually was backed up by something legitimate now. There was another system they had as a backup to make it work. Then they erased it once they got enough of a clientele base, so the original people who invested in the system can profit off of it while the others suffer. So now it officially sort of runs like a scam. The joke is you have to figure out what the backup system is, right? You need a backup drive, like any computer CPU processing unit. Yeah, if you think I'm bullshitting you, you can always call me. I don't fucking care. I can explain the shit. I'm only envying how they can come up with this shit. I don't fucking care. I don't care about good versus evil. I don't fucking care about anything. You think State Farm and Geico don't know about Primerica? Fuck that shit. Of course they all know. They're all working together to make YouTube because people don't just buy insurance product. Geico insurance is not enough, all right? I never gave a fuck, right? Politicians get away with shit all the time. All I ask is I just move out and move the fuck out of here. I don't fucking care. Go smoke some weed. That's reality. And a lot of you moral do-gooders, you can all go jack off and pretend like you're doing good. I don't fucking care whatsoever. I'd rather just be number one and then I can be the moral dictator. That's all. You don't know that? Did you know that if you're number one, you can be the biggest asshole ever on YouTube? You could be like, oh, hey, look, you YouTubers have to do more work. No one's going to overthrow you, dude. YouTube is built on the fact that whoever's number one or number two, the first top 10, they just control the algorithm. Fred's problem is he never sold out. He had integrity. I don't know if you even have integrity. You might just opt out entirely. Because right now, you don't have to copyright if you come back. You don't know who else does, the people on the bottom. That's why I'm criticizing Sykes, because he doesn't understand what the scheme is to make money on YouTube. Right? He doesn't understand the scheme. He just gets pregnant with some chick that she barely talks about, and now he suddenly thinks he can still make money on YouTube? Right? Oh, hell no. You making $0 right now. You making $0 fucking dollars right now. There is no money coming in. You might as well just go on food stamps if we keep this up, buddy. If you ever wonder why I can pull this shit off, it's because people in the 50 states bullied me, right? I don't give a fuck about you guys anymore. You have no power over me. Once you're the biggest loser, do I look like I fucking care? I don't fucking care how much of an L I am. Yeah, and you're just looking at this stuff, and you're just like, well, if you're a big L, you can't go anywhere but the top. That's the joke about being the L. So if you want to make people a loser, you can't go too far in the bottom.